Alright, what is going on my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again. In this video today, we're going to be talking about some Treasure Cruise related stuff. There was a post put up on the subreddit talking about just regarding content creators and how they feel about the game. This video is not scripted, by the way, so this could be completely off the rails. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I just want to go through this Reddit post because I saw a lot of people were messaging me and asking me questions about this. So I just wanted to clear the air, I guess, about what's going on. So there was this Reddit post by MeanMachineOPTC. I feel like this particular post was made extremely prematurely with incorrect information everywhere, but I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people were messaging me on Discord about it saying, are you quitting the game? No, I'm not quitting the game. What the hell? Either way, I want to go through it and we'll just discuss it because there's some other comments in this Reddit thread that we can talk about and just kind of bring to light some issues that Treasure Cruise kind of has right now. Well, Treasure Cruise Global specifically, because the majority of the Reddit plays One Piece Treasure Cruise Global rather than JP. And that's where most of the arguments come from, is the comparison between both versions of the game. So let's talk about this post. So creators Mean Machine, Super Red and Hot. I apologize to Super Red and Hot. I actually have no idea who this person is, but it sounds like this person's quitting from the game. But then again, there's a lot of misinformation with this particular post, so that could be wrong. And then it says, Toadskii won't stream this treasure map, and Bamco are losing the plot, and we have to shout about it. So that's the clickbait title. So it says, hi all, pretty grim news today as we lose two of our best content creators. Even Toadskii is losing interest. I'll get to that in a second. We all know that Gem Valley started off downward trend. I think someone got sacked who is much more important than they realized. This is just complete speculation. I have no idea. We have no idea if anyone got sacked for that at all. It could have just been a complete accident and it could have been no one's fault. We don't actually know what happened behind the scenes relating to that, right? Anyways, it says, with disinterest rising like this, we have more than ever to get loud and shout out the new community manager to get it across to them that they are not creating rewarding campaigns or incentives to play all the way through the events. That's interesting as well. I do want to talk about that. The fact that when you do compare both Global and JP, even we look at the chopper event, the Christmas chopper event where you had to farm for 600 cotton candies, there was so many people in the community. I put up a post. I don't know if I still have it. I'm going to try and find it right now. I literally put up a post that talked about whether or not you wanted to farm for the cotton candy or not. It was ridiculous. So here's the post right here. Now, I actually have no idea when this post was actually put up. This might have been put up, before the time where we were starting to get a little bit further ahead in the cotton candy farming. But you can see right here, I put up a post, nearly 5,000 votes, which is a pretty big chunk of votes, either saying, yes, you farmed it, you haven't farmed it yet, or I will not farm the 600 cotton candies. And at this point, this was at the point where we needed more help. And that's the kind of response that we get from the community. Now, remember, this is just my community that voted on this. I did also vote on, put a vote on Twitter, and it gave me very, very similar results. It'd be interesting to see what the Discord would have voted and what the subreddit would have voted. But it just goes to show that there is a problem in the Treasure Cruise Global community. People just don't seem interested in farming for the events in the game. And I don't know what they can do to fix it, because honestly, the rewards that they gave out for the 600 cotton candy mission, I felt were relatively fair, honestly. And of course, clearing it with a chopper friend captain at that point was, I wouldn't say it's required, but if you had it, it sped up the farming process significantly. So it's weird because, all of these events drop on JP as well. And in a lot of instances, when these events drop on Global, there have been times where the rewards have actually been better than JP. And at the same time, there have been times where Global does get a bit shafted. I mean, look at this current treasure map that we're in right now, and I will talk about that as well. Right, it's been so much better that we have the JP server to look at, so we know it's totally possible. Yeah, we can see when we see JP, they see all the stuff that they're getting. Why can't Global get similar treatment? Which is mainly regarding the treasure map. I feel like the other events surrounding it, even with the most recent Perona event with the bingo event, that was really good. 50 free gems. It was 68 free gems because of all the bingos as well. It was a lot of free stuff. Even recently with the Blitz battle, when Luffy, Zoro, and Sobermask came out, they gave out so many free additional gems for the bug that happened earlier on in the Blitz battle. Their Twitter handles are active. I've screenshotted the recent post about quitting, and that's completely false. And all we can do is continue to shout until they take note. What do you think that they can do to improve? Very genuine question. So, let's go through this once again because I didn't touch on this. So, pretty grim news today. We lost 2 of our content creators and Toadskii is even losing interest. So, first of all, let's talk about MeanMachine. MeanMachine, who, if you guys don't know, he is a global content creator on YouTube and he uploads just his teams and stuff. He's been around in the community for a long time now. This is the tweet. Let me just see if I can find his exact tweet because he actually responded to this Reddit post. Where is it? It was here somewhere. This one right here, I think. Yeah. I've been playing and uploading videos into YouTube since 2015. I'm actually not enjoying the game and I think I should take a break from YouTube at least during the summer. Hope you understand it. Thank you guys for the support and always see you. So it looks like MeanMachine is going to be taking a break from the game. So, I mean, that's unfortunate to hear because he's a really cool guy. We had him on the Good, Great, Perfect podcast at a point as well. So he's a really, really cool guy. It is unfortunate to see that. But at the same time, I can understand where he's coming from. But then this guy just said he's outright quitting, which is completely false. And then which he further clarified that I'm not quitting, just taking a break. So just want to put that the way. Also, he mentions me as well. He says that I won't stream the game. Now, it was a tweet that I made earlier on tonight where I put out a tweet saying, I was going to stream the treasure map, but I legit cannot be bothered. Now, that is a mixture of a couple things. Number one is I wasn't feeling the best. And number two is, yeah, this treasure map actually sucks. So this is another thing I wanted to bring up is the treasure map. The treasure map that they've currently hosted for the 60 million download event is just mind-boggling what they've done here. So this is also another tweet that I brought up, just talking about the fact that this is the main difference between Global's 60 million download, well, this was their 50 million download, but the difference between the two treasure maps. So the first thing is there will be a highly difficult sea. This sea will feature higher HP, attack bosses, and invasions, but you'll be able to get more treasure map points by clearing it. So that would kind of separate two different player bases in New World to decide where people are going to be ranking, which would be interesting. And also with that, because there is no harder difficulty sea, that I think is the contributing factor to the fact that is why when you farm treasure map currently right now, you get less EXP. Per boss you get. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you do get less EXP per boss fight, and I think it's because they wanted you to play the harder mode, which probably would have given you more XP. So I think that's probably the balancing factor. Don't quote me on that though, I have no idea, but that's my assumption. Another thing, play treasure map every day to get 2 rainbow gems for a total of 10 rainbow gems. That did not happen for our 60 million download celebration treasure map. Top ranking players will receive a new unit that's coming at the end of February. What this was is it gave you a ticket that guaranteed you a new batch character from the Shanks crew and Arlong batch. Global just didn't get it. And then it says there will be limit break material sets for 1,000 tickets. You get 30 fragments, 10 crystals, and 1 orb. That is present, but the other 3 are not present. So no difficult sea, for which probably would have given more XP. Don't quote me on that though. We miss out on rainbow gems. There's no ticket for a new batch character guaranteed. And another thing is 5 days long, which is just ridiculous. You can see here from the 12th until the 16th of February, that was their duration. And for us, it is 5 days. And this is a thing that literally everyone I talk to on Discord says the same shit. Nobody likes 5-day treasure maps. People hate 4-day treasure maps. Now, I do understand the balance between having enough time for players to farm 1 million points, but you also have to take the other factor of people don't want to grind for 4 to 5 days. That is a ridiculous thing to ask of your players. So there are a couple ways about it. One of the ways that I've been proposing for a long time, and I've even suggested on stream and people in the chat seem to like it, is basically have treasure map open 24/7. 24/7. I'm going to bring up a post. I'm going to bring up just a notepad and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on it just to easily structure this for you guys. So I feel like this way is a lot easier to display what I'm talking about. So have treasure map open 24/7. The first 3 days of each new treasure map is the formal ranking event that we all know and love. So make it only 3 days long for the first 3 days of a new treasure map character releasing. Once these 3 days are over of ranking, the event is no longer competitive. The event will be open until the next map begins, where players can enter and play treasure map to continuously grind to 1 million points. And then also, as an added factor, remove all secret maps from the non-competitive treasure map mode, just so people can't abuse it for certain drops and stuff like that. Or they could do other things as well, like literally make it where replace all chests for treasure map points, like literally make it all points across the whole map so people can get points much quicker to get to their point rewards. And then this could be another reason for people to play it outside of the ranked event to potentially grind for limit break materials, which we know with limit break expansion is extremely difficult to do. So there are lots of ways that they could potentially change the structure of treasure map to cater to both the newer players who want to be grinding for those points for the characters and the rewards, but also help out those players that do actually support your game, that are continuously spending gems to summon on these treasure map Sugo Fests like myself. And it kind of, helps them out a little bit, spending a little bit less time in doing the grinding phase, which can take up a lot of time. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on what potentially they could do to change treasure map. I don't know, maybe you guys in the comment section have better opinions on that. But that's just what I wanted to talk about. Let's have a look at some comments here. I mean, we should be shouting, we'll shout for you now. They canceled the 3rd daily gem, but we didn't. I didn't actually realize that. There were 3 daily gems. So they didn't do that anymore. Actually, that was because there's like an event island every single day. I think that's what they were referring to. That's true. I don't understand why that was taken out. And, well, that's another thing as well, is this. Another thing that JP Treasure Map has that Global doesn't have is on their 5 million point and their 7 million point red ticket, it's limited pool legend. Now, I don't know how limited those pools are, but they're limited nonetheless. Globals are still not limited pool, and we should have had them for the past 2 or 3 treasure maps. I don't know why it's not the case. We are still waiting for upgraded rewards. It's a bit ridiculous anyways. Hasn't really streamed the treasure map unless any pre-ones. That's true. Like, I usually only stream treasure map maybe 2, maybe 3 days of the treasure map. Most of the time, 2 days of treasure map is about how much I stream, and, only a couple hours each time. So, yeah, it's about normal. Right now, what I'm seeing is most of the disinterest of the content creators and myself is from the length of the treasure map, which is completely true. This is more of a problem because of how incredibly high our point acquisition is on Global compared to the Japanese server. Starting points, potential multipliers, everything is higher on Global. This means for grinders or anyone looking to get a real jump in the ranking rewards, top 500, which is what I aim for personally each treasure map, you're looking at literal days of playing for nothing but rank, even on 4-day treasure maps, which is completely true. Most of the time, if I've only got just the 1.75 point booster, like I didn't get the second highest or the highest point booster, it takes around nav level 60-ish to guarantee top 500, I would say. Last treasure map with X Drake was a little bit more of a crazy circumstance, but yeah, typically around 60 nav levels is like guaranteed top 500 in most cases, but it depends on what kind of event it is. Switching the recent legend tickets to 5 and 7 million isn't helping the ranking aspect for those kinds of players, which is completely true, but it is still something that JP have that Global haven't got that we should have, and is only going to make the general public happy for so long. As you naturally get more legends from the legend tickets, you're going to get more dupes, so that's completely true. I've said over a year that there's no need for Global Treasure Maps to go over 3 days, but I've often been in disagreement. Yeah, because you have to cater to both sides of the agreement, which is why I think this structure could be something that they could look at in the future. Maybe. What else do we have? Honestly, I think the upcoming guaranteed bullet could be a start. I mean, maybe, but even then, they're doing it as a massive bait prior to the French anniversary, so we'll see how that goes anyway. But they really need to come up with something grand for the Shanks crew. I do agree. If it ends up being a dud celebration after a build-up from Bullet, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people just quit. That's completely true as well. I do think that the French anniversary has to be a home run, because if it's not, I think you're going to get a lot of people quitting the game. I mean, look what happened with Kaido release, right? Kaido release was one of the most anticipated legends to come out and was arguably the worst anniversary celebration that we've had. Well, I mean, as of late, the year prior where we had the Big Mom event, there were lots of farming events happening at the time. There was the, fight the strongest foe, really difficult events out of the time. There was, fight against Big Mom and stuff. The Blitz battle, like constant grinding. There was like 3 Blitz battles back to back to back on Global during Kaido. It was just ridiculous. And then the year prior to that, we had Legend Lucy release, and that celebration was actually much better. But also just the Sugo Fest itself. Kaido's Sugo Fest was absolutely horrendous. The Big Mom Sugo Fest was better because they released Global First Quickbeard guaranteed on 9 multis, which was a godsend. With that Quickbeard on the Big Mom Sugo Fest on the 4th anniversary, that Sugo Fest was a complete dud. And then the year prior was Legend Lucy, which had guaranteed V2 Law 6+ after 6 multis, which was incredible, honestly, because he only just came out in December, and then in February, they already fast-tracked him to Global. They did a really good job at that point there. So it's just giving you some perspective on previous events. So let's see what else there is. MeanMachine is only taking a break, correct. Just literally upload a video of GARP challenges. Yes, what makes you think he lost interest in the game? Yeah, exactly. Never stream much treasure map. Exactly, yeah, I mean, that's just related to me, but it's fine. There have been nothing but generous the past couple months. I mean, yeah, as I said earlier on in the video, the recent Blitz Battle stuff, the Perona Bingo event, which was the same event that happened on JP, but the events haven't been terrible as of late. I mean, the Blitz Battle relating to that, and then also the Bingo event is all really cool, but there are still things that need improvement. Like, there are things that just are like unforgivable, really, that should be changed, like regarding treasure map rewards. I don't understand why the rewards are different for the point rewards between global and JP. They should be the same at this point. I don't understand why. Very, very odd, because if the rewards are better for 5 to 7 mil, people are going to grind to 5 and 7 mil to get them. Gives a little bit people more incentive, and because our rewards are less than JP, that gives people, you know, a little bit more of a shitty feeling, you know, like, why should I even grind this, because the rewards are going to be bad anyway. That's what most people, I assume, are going to be feeling. Anyways, even for casual players, treasure map is just a boring grind. Correct. You spend so much time in menus and tapping needlessly. It requires so much time and is not flexible on when you can play, since the stamina bar refills so quickly. I do think treasure map is the worst game mode in Treasure Cruise. I just straight out, it is the worst game mode in Treasure Cruise. Needs a massive overhaul. Completely agree to that. Even though it is probably the primary way most people are getting limit break materials. And the characters that they drop during treasure map are typically very, very good. But the event itself is shit. It just needs improvement, man. It's not great. Just make team more like Kizuna. Maybe there has to be some sort of aspect to it to make it very unique to it. But yeah, Kizuna is probably my favorite game mode in Treasure Cruise right now. So a long time, only streamed the first day of treasure map, blah, blah, blah. That's about me. Mean Machine said he's only taking a break. Yep. That being out of the way, I don't think it's a surprise for this game to be fun anymore. I'm still playing and streaming it because of momentum, but I can easily see none of the people are active, both Twitch and in the game. The game is not feeling fresh anymore, but does not get any kind of content that makes it fresh. That's why I'm really looking forward to PvP. I think PvP is going to be a nice change for the game for sure. This is Carbato, who is a streamer here, so he's a pretty cool guy. Near little, every content is easier to pass with new units. Tons of game modes being the same, either grindfest or hard content that enforces new units, and the new units most of the time boring with just plain multipliers or recycled mechanics. Sort of, I kind of agree with this. I kind of agree that to a certain extent, but I mean, we just look at Legend Sugar, right? Like, Legend Sugar is not one of those generic boring units that, you know, just has a high multiplier and does stuff. Like, Legend Sugar is unique. I think Smoker, on the other hand, is kind of like that unit, but at the same time, Smoker is very, very good. Some of the super type legends are very one-dimensional and kind of boring. I'm not a big fan of the Sabo. Katakuri has problems. Snake Man's still very good, but it's just like, it's just high multipliers and damage, really. Like, there's nothing unique about it. Like, Blackbeard I really do like, because you have to play with him a little bit differently. And I think he's probably my favorite of all the Anniversary Legends, honestly. But either way, Bandai is not making any efforts to make this game feel new, and there is a lot of gacha competition out there. That is very true. I mean, lots of players are just going to different gacha games now, from what I've seen. But yeah, TLDR, game as old, doesn't try to become fresh in any means. Obviously, people are going to be burnt out. I mean, that's completely true. People are going to be burnt out. I think they do try. I do think they do try, but Treasure Map just needs an overhaul, and the fact is if you miss a Treasure Map, you just are so behind. You're so behind because you don't have a unit. You're put back to East Blue, which is terrible for grinding, terrible for rewards, and then you got to grind all the way back up to, you know, New World League, and you got to play every single month. And yeah, it can be a grind. I completely agree, and that's why changing the format of Treasure Map is probably what they need to do. That's my opinion. My opinion. Yeah, he's in quitting. I think most people are saying the same stuff. Also, while I'm on JP, the limited recruit raid ticket. So the ratio 2, it's not outlandishly good, especially after getting decent limited recruits. I actually completely agree with this. The limited recruit ticket's very good once you first start getting them, but after a while, it's very difficult to get the new stuff. I completely agree there. Inspector, let's see what he has to say. They're not creating rewarding campaigns or incentives to play all the way through events. It's been so much better, and we have the JP server to look at, so we know it's totally possible. You get most rewards JP gets from amazing events with much, much lower requirements because newsflash, global player base is lazy and barely engages with content, which is exactly what I said relating to this. Exactly right. If they spent 10% of the time they spend whining and bitching into actually playing the game, God knows where we'd be. Okay, completely true. And it's hard to take any criticism seriously when in 90% of cases it comes from some idiotic, uninformed place and almost always devolves into whining about pools or lack of free gems, which I think lack of free gems I think are getting much better, especially on global now, but lack of pools, I mean, it's RNG, but I mean, sometimes I will admit that, you know, the rates are kind of awful on certain banners. Debuting Legends should be at least equal highest rate. JP has done this for a long time. The newest Legend is at least equal highest rate to pull on the banner. Global, more often than not, it does not do that. So hopefully that changes at least. I mean, I've been saying that for many months now. One would hope that the Wood Clash event taught people something that I guess some are still delusional, thinking both player bases have the same approach to the game. Is Bandai's management on global good? But global player base barely even plays the game exactly. So I don't know if that's a good enough reason to really say, you know, okay, you don't get the same rewards as JP. I don't think so. I think if the rewards were the same, even though yes, the JP player base is way more hardcore, they play the game way more. That doesn't excuse the fact that the rewards should be the same between both versions for the same game mode, fighting for the same points. Even though, yes, Global's multipliers are slightly higher, change the multipliers. If all the multipliers are changed, it doesn't matter. We're on the same, you know, playing field here. It doesn't really matter. The rewards still be the same. Or what they do is increase the amount of points you need to get those rewards. Maybe even if it's 10 million, right? I would still be okay with that personally, and maybe some other people won't be, but I'd still be okay with that, especially if it's a limited pool Legend. Like, if it's a 12-month release Legend on 10 mil, that's pretty good. That is really, really good. It's annoying. You have to, oh, this is annoying. You have to run it 20 times? I've heard this so many times from global players. I've only pulled 5 new Legends, and it didn't get me with a specific 0.1 rates. Rigged. I mean, there are times, though, when you have a character, right, that's, you know, let's say you got a new character, 0.1%, and you got 5 other characters which are 0.1, and then you pull the same one like 5 times. It's not rigged, it's RNG. It's RNG, it's the game we play. It's a gacha game. Does anyone have Snake Man Kaido team? I don't want to build teams and farm units that I'll need for future events. Yep, so people just outright being lazy with the game. This Legend is the flavor of the month and nobody uses it. All of this stupid whining becomes tiring, especially when it's the only thing you see for months. Yeah, I mean, this is a constant thing that you'll see in Discord servers, on the Reddit, just everything relating to that. And ultimately, OPTC is a game. It's not your job and should never be a major part of your life. It is for me. If you don't enjoy it and you don't see changes you want for an extended period of time, quit and move along, which I think is a completely fair statement to make. If you're continuously whining about it, and if you're whining about it in, you know, 6 months' time, 8 months' time, 12 months' time about the same issues, maybe you should just move on. Maybe the game isn't for you. I do think that's a good comment to end on. So that's the full rundown of everything relating to Treasure Cruise. Ultimately, TLDR for the video, change treasure map, and Mean Machine's not quitting. And no, I'm not losing interest. It's just this treasure map event is not great. Okay, so hopefully that clears things up. And if you guys have any thoughts and opinions as to ways we could improve treasure map, or even just Treasure Cruise in general, right? Anything relating to improving Treasure Cruise. And don't be stupid, just say, oh, guaranteed legend every multi, which I think still would be a really cool thing. I don't think it's going to be something that they could really just apply out of the blue, right? You got to think of things that could be active things that they could do in the community to improve the quality of life of the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit of a rant. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.